My videos are like kind of all over the place. Maybe I should create like a free course. Just I'm gonna pretend you're an alien that knows absolutely nothing, and then create some videos that goes A to Z in order, showing you exactly what to do. Just everything I know just in this course. Maybe I'll do that one day. So this is day 10 of me trying to post every single day. In this video, I thought I would talk about pretty much everything that I think you need and everything that I think you don't need to start an SMMA. Okay, so I'm trying out this whiteboard thing, and then I'll see how it looks. But basically, I put what you need. So to start out, when you're starting your business, what you need is the first thing you need to do is kind of identify a genre or a niche that you can get into that has some sort of problem that needs solving. So a niche with a problem. So that's the first thing you want to find, right? So a gym needs more gym members, a restaurant needs more customers, whatever the niche is, whatever the industry is, and then identify some sort of problem. Because if you don't have a problem, you don't really have a business. So first thing you need to do is identify a problem. The second thing you need to do is identify how to solve the problem. So all you need to do is really provide a service that can solve this problem. It doesn't, and again, I talked about this in my last video, but you don't want to offer every single thing in the world. You just need to find one way to solve the problem, whether it be through Facebook ads, whether you can free up their time with managing their social media, whatever it is. Identify the problem and then find a way to solve that problem. That's essentially the two most basic things that you need to understand to successfully run your business. Like, that's pretty much it. Another thing you need is a computer or a laptop with internet access. So yeah, just a computer, laptop with internet, so you can access Upwork or whatever tool you're using. But you need a computer, you need internet. I'm just gonna put that in there. Now another thing that you need is to be able to understand the niche. So whatever niche you get into, whether it's gyms or restaurants, to be honest, when I say niche, like for me, I don't have a niche. Like, I don't limit myself to only working with gym clients. I don't limit myself to only working with restaurants or this type of business. I just was able to identify a problem, which was the fact that there's a lot of businesses out there that need social media management and content creation. And then I found a way to solve that problem by providing or using my time to do the social media management, the content creation. So honestly, I say niche, but I think a lot of people tend to like go too into like, what type of niche should I get into. Like, I don't think you have to limit yourself to just one niche, or maybe I'm wrong, but for me, I don't. But when I say understand the niche, I'm pretty much saying understand the problem. So understand the solution. So when I'm offering social media management, I try to learn as much as I possibly could about social media management, social media marketing, what others were doing, how I can, the best tips to manage social media accounts, the best tips for growth, the best content to create for this industry and that industry, and things like that. Do your own research and find out as much as you possibly can about whatever service it is that you're selling. Again, this should be pretty obvious. I should change niche to service you are selling. So it doesn't have to be social media. So if you're selling website design, learn as much as you can about website design, because you can, like, the appeal of an agency is that technically you don't really have to do the work yourself. So for example, all you have to do is find a way to sell website design to somebody, and then you take that payment that you get and then use that to pay somebody else to create that website. But the thing is, you're not going to be able to sell a website service if you aren't able to convince the client that you know some degree of website design, or something about websites, at least more than the client. So in order to even get past that stage, you need to be confident in the service that you're selling. You need to be able to convince the client and say, I know a lot. I'm a professional in what I do. So you can trust me paying me your money. Like, you need to prove that, or show your client that. And to do that, you need a basic understanding of the service that you're selling. And lastly, I think this is probably the most important thing, but it's discipline and understanding that this is a long-term business. So I think honestly the worst thing you can do is kind of go online and see all these videos of people putting in results. I made $10,000 in 30 days, or I grew my agency to 6 figures in 2 months or 3 months or whatever. The worst thing you could do is look at a video like that and then put that as the expectation for yourself, and compare yourself and your results to other people. I think that's one of the worst things you can do. Like, you might be on the right path, but because you're actually comparing yourself to all these people, and because you're not getting the results that they're getting, you kind of like quit and you say, or you think it's not working, when it really is. It's just taking a bit more time for you, and that's something that shouldn't be. That's not an issue, but you make it an issue because like you see all these other people and you start comparing yourself. That's the worst thing you could do. Set a time and just dedicate yourself to working as hard as you possibly can on the outreach, and then understand that this is a long-term business. This isn't short-term. This isn't a get rich quick type of a thing. Think like multiple years. Like, you're in this for the long run. This is what you're going to be doing for like years. It kind of removes like the emotion from the business, and I think that's something that you should do, is remove emotion from any of the processes. Especially if this is like your first business, you're going to come across a lot of emotional moments, whether it be from clients or freelancers, or frustration or anger or whatever. There's going to be emotion. You want to remove that, especially when you're making decisions, because like having emotion play a part in the decision making for your business is not a good idea. I think it's just not a good idea. But yeah, this is pretty much it. Like, people try to overcomplicate things. Like, this is all that you need. You need a niche. Identify a niche with a problem, figure out a way to solve that problem. A computer or a laptop with internet access. Understand the service that you're selling. And then you need discipline. You need to be able to understand that this is a long-term business. You can't quit halfway through. Understand that this is a long process. Remove any of the emotion. But that's pretty much it. Like, this is literally everything that you need. I mean, I can say that, you need Upwork or whatever, but, some people might not use Upwork or need Upwork. So, yeah, but yeah, this is pretty much everything that you need to start your own SMMA. Okay, now I'm gonna go into all the things that you don't need, which I think is pretty important, because I think a lot of people just waste time on some of this stuff when they could just be getting started with their outreach. And I think it's just a big waste of time. I think like, you could be using that time and effort and energy to do other things, and you're spending it on this thing that's like something you don't even need. So I'm gonna go straight into it. First thing, website. Website. You don't need a website. Like, I don't have a website, or I have one. I have one when I first got my business email, and I created one using like Google, like the Google website builder. It was free, that came with the $6 a month, but I don't use it. I just use it as like cause my domain. Anyways, like I don't use it. I don't give it to my clients. None of my clients, I don't think, have ever asked me for my website. I think there has been once where it's like a long time ago, a client asked me if I had a website, and I just said no, I don't have a website, and they just said okay. So you don't need it unless you're maybe selling website design. It might be weird if you don't have a website yourself, but even then you could just be like, or you could just give some examples of websites you've created, and that should be enough. But I don't know, I don't think you need a website, especially when you're doing the service that I'm selling. I'm just going to go off of what I don't think you need based off of what I'm doing, so which is social media management, content creation. You might need some of this stuff for other services, but at least not for mine. So first thing, website. Second thing, business name, a business logo. Like I'll see people spend so much time thinking about their business name, thinking about, you know, their logo designs, or like talking with different people of like who can create the best logo, best looking logo. You don't need it. I've never sent my client my business name. Oh, and also like a business card. That, I mean, you're gonna be doing things online, so, but that's beside the point. You don't need a business card or a logo or a name. Just use your own name. If you want to have a business name, cool. It shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes tops to think of your business name. Like my business name is literally just my name and then the word media at the end of it. Like that's my business name. So it shouldn't be that complicated. I'm just trying to get rid of all these things, these time spending things that's going to keep me from actually getting started and doing outreach. You want to do outreach as fast as you possibly can. Just do all the things that you need to do, and then just factor out the things that you don't need to do so that you can get started on outreach. That should be your goal, your mindset. But yeah, website, business name, business logo, card, you don't need. Another thing that I thought I needed, but you don't, is to register your business. So like, again, this shouldn't be like any sort of legal advice or anything, but I didn't register my business, and I don't think you need to, especially when you're starting out. If you need to later down the line, cool, but make money first and then worry about whether or not you need to register your business. Also, this goes into the taxes stuff. Like, there's people out there that like will worry about like taxes and worry about getting an accountant before even getting started, like, and trying to figure this stuff out before actually even making $1. Like, you haven't made any money yet. Why are you worrying about taxes? You know? And again, this is not, I guess, legal advice, but for me, I think you haven't made $1 yet with this business. Stop worrying about taxes. Make money first, and then later down the line, worry about, okay, I need to start, you know, getting an accountant, talking with a CPA, whatever, and then figuring out my taxes. But yeah, this kind of stuff, don't need to worry about. Next, office. I would say you don't need an office. Like, this is my office, like my room. I got my computer, my desk, my chair. This is my office. This is all you need. Next, I guess, employees. You don't need employees. Now, when you're starting an agency, you do hire freelancers and contractors. I think they're different from employees, and I can talk about that. But I think employees and contractors are different. But yeah, you don't need an employee. You don't need an office. You don't need some sort of business degree. You don't even, honestly, like, even when it comes to your service, you don't even need experience. Like, because obviously when you start out, you're gonna have zero experience. Experience comes as you like start your business and actually go about things. You know, that's how you gain experience. So like, for example, people think if you want to sell like Facebook ads, people think that they need to have like all this experience on Facebook ads. They go outside and then they run Facebook ads for free for all these different businesses just to build up experience, you know, and then they start doing outreach to kind of sell Facebook ads. I think that's a bad way to go about it. Just go straight into the outreach. You want to start outreach as fast as you can. Like, build your experience that way. Um, but yeah, you don't need experience. If anything, you can just learn. Learning is fine. Learning, that's something that you need. But experience, all of this stuff, yeah, this is pretty much everything that I don't think you need. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that, you know, I thought that people might need, but turns out you don't. Actually, maybe like, oh, also, so you don't need social pages, definitely, unless like, unless you're using like your Instagram to do outreach, sort of like Upwork. You're reaching out to businesses on Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever, then maybe, yeah, you need social pages. But if you're using Upwork like me, for me, I didn't have any social pages. Even now, the only social page I have is this YouTube channel, and I made an Instagram, you know, a couple weeks ago. But I never used any of my social pages for my business. If a client did ask me for my social pages before, they asked me if they could check out my, you know, my social pages, like my Instagram, like my LinkedIn or Facebook or some of my pages, and I just tell them every time. So I just say, oh, I like to keep my private accounts private. I don't like to share any of my actual private social pages. I just like to keep that for myself. I hope you can understand. And every single time the client just goes, oh, okay, yeah, sure, I completely understand. That's not a problem. So yeah, you don't need social pages. Even though you're a social media manager, you don't need social pages, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, you don't need any of this. Yeah, the reason why I'm emphasizing this part, this whole section, is because, again, people like to waste time because I guess they're scared of actually getting started. But if you want to make money with this business, you need to just start. And all of this is just time wasters, things that are gonna, you know, keep you from getting started and signing that first client. So yeah, get this out of your head. Worry about this is something you need. These are the things you should be worrying about. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope I was able to clarify some things. I'm gonna kind of play around with this whiteboard thing. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, what you need, what you don't need.